No one can question Camarillo's toughest schedule this year. The undefeated Scorpions have already beaten non-league opponents Rio Grande, St Bonaventure, and Calabasas this year. Now, last week, Camarillo began Camino League play with a big win over Newberry Park. Tonight, they were taking on 7-1 Thousand Oaks in a big QB face-off right here. Lancers quarterback Max Gilliam has committed to UC Berkeley and has thrown for over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. Now, Scorpions quarterback Jake Constantine has him beat with 29 touchdowns. No offers for him just yet, but I'm sure that'll change. Let's get to the action. In the first play of the game, Max Gilliam gets picked off thanks to Frankie Tostado. So that would lead to this. Jake Constantine handing it off to Aaron Lamb for the first touchdown of the night. Cam up 7-0. But Thousand Oaks would answer right back. Gilliam to Perry Martin, dodging defenders and taking it down the sideline, setting the Lancers up perfectly for this. Gilliam throwing it to a wide open Noah Hoffman. And guess what? With this touchdown, we are all tied up at 7. So, off the kickoff, Ryan Moscarella says, you know what, folks, get your popcorn ready because this is going to be one heck of a show. And I'm pretty sure he plays dodgeball because, did you see that move? Pretty darn good, right? All the way back to the house, Camarillo would lead at 14-7. But these Lancers would not back down. Gilliam keeping this one himself and keeping his balance. He slips down the sideline all the way in for the touchdown. Game now tied up at 14, and we are still in the first quarter, believe it or not. Now Gilliam handing it off to Martin again and again. He is in for the score. For the first time, T.O. takes the lead 20-14, and Constantine says no sweat. He hands it off to his Lamb. That's Aaron Lamb with his second touchdown of the night. Cam leads at 21-20, and this game isn't even close to being over. Second quarter, Gilliam hits Max Stockstead, and it's now 27-21 Lancers. Constantine this time showing off his arm, connecting with Elijah Alexander. And as you can tell, this game went back and forth all night. But in the end, Camarillo does it again. They win it in a close one, 49-45. The Northern Division's top-ranked team is now 9-0, and they will host Royal next Friday in a regular season finale.
We could just run that for Friday football's finest and be done with it. All right, Moorpark lost a heartbreaker last week as the Warriors scored very late to pull out the victory. Tonight, the Musketeers back in Westlake, this time to take on Michael Pittman and his brother Micah and the rest of the Oaks Christian Lions on senior night. The ASU Cronkite Sports Bureau also on hand. Always appreciate the video. Undefeated Lions strike first. Brandon LeBreeze, 17 yards for the touchdown. Oaks Christian up. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. Weston Heroes. Big hit, incomplete. Let's head upstairs. We get a great angle at the outstanding talent that is Gil Scott Jackson. See you later. 58-yard touchdown. Lions up 14-0, and Action Jackson getting the glad hand on the sideline. Moorpark trying to get something going. Jeremy Harris scrambling, buying time. Heaves it downfield, but it's going to be picked off.
Did you see that hit?
By Hayden Galvin. I didn't, but I saw the interception. And this is always an appropriate sign for Oaks Christian, isn't it?
Right.
Have not lost yet this year. Early second quarter, Matt Corral airing it out to the great Michael Pittman, the USC-bound receiver. 85 yards for the touchdown. Pittman and Jim Binkert says, you know what? Make sure I get some good seats at USC game, all right? Oaks Christian scored again while we show that celebration. It's 28-0 and back on defense. Hey, Lee Pitts, nice interception, still 28-0. Now it's time to, do you know you're Owusu? Now Chris Owusu, NFL on the Jets, Francis Owusu, Stanford, Brian, Harvard, Crystal's at Columbia, basketball player.
5,
That's
6.
Michael Owusu with a touchdown. Wow, what a family.
Right.
56-7, what a football team. Oaks Christian getting ready for the rivalry game at Westlake. Head coach Jim Binkert going to walk across the street practically, return to his old school. Moorpark ends the regular season at St Bonaventure. Well, those St Bonaventure Saris would have to pull off an upset to avoid a rare 3-game losing streak for them. St Bonnie hosting Westlake. Reporter Trevor Sappel was there, and he joins us live in studio with the highlights.
Well, Westlake and St Bonaventure have squared off for CIF championships in the past. Tonight's game was just a regular season contest, but it sure felt like playoffs at Larrabee Stadium. The Saris would honor their back-to-back CIF girls softball champions at halftime. Good work, ladies, but hey, we've got some football. We picked this one up in the second quarter. Westlake red zone. Grant Bunker drops back and rockets one to Colton Rogers for the touchdown. It's 14-3 Warriors. Seraphs looking to get things going on offense. Darius Vines looks right before coming back to his left to find Chuck Witt. Picks up a big chunk of yards, and that sets up this. From 15 yards out, Vines finds Jacob Bravo up the seam, and Seraphs pull within 4 going into the half. Very first play in the second half, Vines fakes the handoff, and then he's going to throw up a hope and a prayer, and that comes down right in the hands of Bravo. Completions are so much cooler when you force them through triple coverage. Ask catch them in the crowd. You got to catch them all. Still driving, Vines pulls the entire defense to his right, but flips the field and hits Chris Santoyo on the other side, and he fights his way for the first down inside the 15. A few plays later, it's Vines. He's going to stretch the field, running to the sideline, looking for anybody. Squeezes it through a tight window to his tight end, Noah Gianelli, and St Bonaventure has the lead 17-14. Westlake will answer quickly, however, when Bunker drops one over the top of the defense to Shane Ho, and they don't come much easier than that. Warriors back in the lead. Ensuing drive for the Seraphs. They pick up a huge first down here on 4th and short inside the 15, and then they bring in the goal line package, and that's Chris Santoyo who punches it in. Seraphs regain the lead 24-21. This game stayed close until the end, but another Chris Santoyo touchdown with 47 seconds left would seal the victory, and St. Bonnie pulls off a huge upset, 31-28. Both teams are 1-1 in the Marmonte League with 1 to play. St. Bonnie hosts Moorpark. Westlake gets undefeated Oaks Christian. That should be a thriller. Reporting live in the studio, Trevor Saffel, back to you, Center A.
All right, thanks, Trevor. Well, a huge matchup in the Pacific View League tonight as Pacifica played at Rio Mesa. Now, the visiting Titans trying to stay undefeated in the league while Rio Mesa is still in the hunt to share the league crown. We get it started with this play right here. A great goal line stand up. Pacifica stacks up Rio Mesa on 3rd and 4th down to keep the Spartans off the board. Now, Rio Mesa flashed some great defense of its own. Here's Josh Atwater and Jonathan Letter teaming up for a crushing hit on 3rd down. Now, second quarter, Pacifica finally gets the ball moving. Running back Thomas Duckett picks up a first down and pays for it. Now, he really ran hard the whole game. A few plays later, quarterback Raul Sandoval fakes a handoff to Duckett, looks to pass, but throws the ball all the way back to a wide-open Duckett for the touchdown. The Tritons would go on to lead at 7-0. Now the Spartans march down the field on their next possession. But with just 5 yards to go, quarterback Austin Maciel runs and loses the football. Pacifica would recover and take it back to midfield, so Rio just couldn't really get it done in the red zone. Now, very next play doesn't get to any points, but it's still a good one. Maciel gets the ball, hurdles a defender, and sticks the landing. Unfortunately, penalties stop the Spartans, and they would go in 7-0 at halftime. Third quarter now. Pacifica says, anything you could do, I could do better. Check out Daniel Baraga, pulls off the hurdle of his own, puts Pacifica in good position for a field goal kick. Now, that drive would lead Pacifica to a 10-0 lead. Now, later in the third quarter, Sandoval finds Alex Hernandez wide open downfield. He takes a shot but holds on to the ball. That would lead to another Pacifica field goal to start the fourth quarter. It's 13-0 Tritons. They would go on to shut out Rio Mesa in this one, 27-0. Rio Mesa finishes the regular season at 5-5 and 2-2 in league. Now Pacifica is 3-0 in league and will play at Oxnard next week for the league title. And speaking of the Oxnard Yellow Jackets, well, their leader is no doubt senior running back, linebacker as well. That would be Raymond Caldera. Now Megan Keebler, has more about Raymond.
When the Oxnard Yellow Jackets coach John Mack, a 7-time Southern Section champion, descended onto the Oxnard High School campus, a sea change took place.
Big group and a whole lot of different people came when Mack came.
As team dynamics have transformed to fit the style of the new coaching staff, senior running back Raymond Caldera has stepped into a leadership role, inspiring everyone with his dedication to the game.
He's one of the hardest working kids on the team, definitely a team leader, very vocal.
He keeps everyone up to date, everyone up to track, and he just keeps the motivation going throughout the team.
In 2014, Caldera rushed for an eye-popping 2,352 yards with 30 touchdowns. He is well on his way to matching or exceeding those numbers this season. For Raymond, football is life. He spends all of his free time working out and strategizing new plays to help enhance the power of the Yellow Jackets.
You know, he's a guy that wakes up in the morning, thinks about football, and thinks about football at lunch, and goes to bed dreaming about football. So he's not a 3 to 5 guy. He's an 8 to 8 guy.
Caldera's laser beam focus on football outside of just practices and games strengthens his ability on the field. And while he plays running back for Oxnard, Raymond is nevertheless well-schooled on both sides of the ball.
I started off as a center, and then I went to a middle linebacker. I've always been a middle linebacker since till 8th grade, and then I just became a running back. Caldera's
defensive training has served him well on offense, making him a tough back to bring down.
The word is impactful, that he's a running back, that he certainly is delivering the hit. He's not taking any hits. He's a linebacker playing running back.
Raymond attributes his dedication to football on and off the field to the adrenaline he gets from playing with the Yellow Jackets at the end of each week.
After the game, seeing the scoreboard with us winning and them losing, that's the only achievement I see there. It's like, as long as we win, that's all I care about. That's all that really matters. That's my whole goal, and I'm really not happy till then.
A workout fanatic, Caldera plans on taking the discipline he has learned from football and translating it to a career dedicated to service, as he plans on entering the police academy or joining the military after graduation. But until then, Raymond's eyes are firmly set on the prize of finishing his Oxnard football career with a bang, and possibly a Pacific League title. For Friday Football Focus, this is Megan Keebler of the Cronkite Sports Bureau in Los Angeles.
All right, thanks, Megan. Well, up next, we'll see if Raymond, Caldera, and Oxnard will stay undefeated in league with a victory over Whiting.
All right, plus we're going to have a preview of the Halloween matchup in the Tri-Valley League between Bishop Diego and the Carpinteria Warriors.